Hi, my name is Romy Suster and I'll be your presenter today. Hello to both or to all those who attended our course or lessons in the morning. I hope you're here again. So this is now our third session, crafting digital newsletters, in sector of audience development. As you probably know, this is the list which we are following, becoming a successful digital publisher. Business strategy, we had this earlier this week. You can always rewatch it. This is the good thing of this course. And today we are in the third session, which is crafting digital newsletters. So we will be focusing on audience growth, product, and newsletter revenue. Again, the key of all, these sessions is that you feel relaxed, just sit back, enjoy. And if there is something that you maybe want to, rewatch or something, that's all on demand. So nothing lost if you miss something. Again, getting the most out of this training, as always, you are the most important person. So whatever you wish to take out, that's the best thing. But if you say, yes, it's all new to me, so what should I do? As mentioned, follow all the sessions. They are really good. And in the end, you will get, an idea what's important. At the end, I will also tell you, how to get the best contacts out of that and where to ask if you have questions. But for now, let's start. So why this matters? Engaging your audiences through email. With an email, there is always presumption of connection, of something personal, that it makes it a good platform for publishers. And publishers will always be searching to stick out of the clutter, and they will try to find this connection, and also connect with the customer maybe in more personal way. So a lot of famous publishers agree with that. Coffee, news, and email. Yes, that's something what I really like to do. These three ingredients are frequently, at the start of many people's day. So we get up, grab a coffee, read the news, and check our emails. But what is this, how is this, how can we compare this to our newsletters? Let's have a look. Our focus in this course will be so we will focus on newsletter and their importance, how to help us grow, and also, in regard of retention, how to, keep our customers, followers, so growth. Then as a product, the elements that can make a successful newsletter. What do you need to write that, I will be still, interesting enough for people to follow me. And newsletter revenue. Newsletters can also provide revenue streams or monetization. How many people describe it? Yes, it's all good, but how can I earn money? If we go, we start now. So what do I have to do if I want to grow my audience? That's always, the thing. Newsletter statistics are really helpful in these regards. Publisher data show that the most popular news email can get open rates up to 80%. It's really good. Doesn't happen that often because you really need to good content and material, as you know. So 44% read most of their emails each day. 73% have signed up for an email that is triggered by an event. And daily updates are the most popular type of email. Now, if you think of yourself and ask yourself, okay, do I really open all, emails and newsletters that I get? From my side, if I'm really honest, I subscribe to many things. I often forget to what I subscribe. Then I get some emails. If I have time, yes, I will follow certain topics, but most of the time I am, super busy. I don't have time, so I just, click on delete, and a lot of, this data virtually disappears. It's also interesting about statistics. Yes, I might open an email, just scan it through and then delete it. And that, yes, it would show good, I opened it, but did I actually follow anything in there? Probably not. I don't know how this about you. Before I continue, I almost forgot. We have Elisabetta in our chat. She's here, to answer all your questions, to record all your questions. And if you if you need something, please type a message, introduce yourself, tell us, what you're looking for, what is your goal, what is important, so that we create some sort of, this human touch, which is really important in everything what we do, especially now in this digital age. Then we go further. So we ask ourselves, what is the role of the newsletter? Newsletter, blog, is it the same? No, it's not the same, but it's close. Newsletter's role in the funnel. If we, check this pyramid, it always starts, whatever we do, it always starts with awareness. It goes to consideration, action, engagement, and then advocacy, which is the ultimate goal of everything. What do we want to tell with that? So let's say I'm now, I'm deciding I'll have my newsletter. First of all, I would want to have somebody to read this newsletter. And so I would have to reach out to get the readers. And then what would I have to do to make these readers to be actually, my loyal followers and so. And to get this loyalty in this world of information these days, it's almost regarded as a commercial success, which you probably know. So newsletter can play a really important or vital part in bringing our audiences back to our sites and engaging with our content. So if you think that we have these days per day almost 3 billion searches every single day, and a lot of these searches are connected to the newsletter, so maybe we would be also able to attract a direct link back to our site rather than losing possible valuable readers in this wild web. Let's say if we manage to get a strategy which works, we will probably measure the data with them. The data will tell us if it worked, by who opened it, who clicked on a certain page, what happened. So when this happens, we have to follow the data and make sure that we get the leads. Once we have the leads, then we can, start, pushing more and more, but, touching also, among our, valuable, customers or readers and make them stay. The Washington Post, you probably know, the newspaper really well. They call this strategy customer engagement funnel, and they try to convert, leads into customers by using a newsletter. If we continue, we go to Peterborough Matters. That's an interesting platform because they used social search ad campaigns to grow the top of their funnel to almost 135.6K unique visitors per month they gained. And they kept launching newsletters, but they were focusing mainly on a group which was interested in brands. So with these rates, they achieved 51.5% increase in visitors. So newsletter was sent out and 51%, let's say, replied and came to their page and they became brand lovers. That's, for example, a classical example. Peterborough Matters. It's not a big thing. If we then think a little bit about newsletters, how can I, strengthen my engagement with a newsletter? I need subscriber. Then this magic with newsletter needs to happen. And if it's good content, it is relevant, to my subscribers, then okay, they will stay. If not, they will go. It's pretty simple concept. If we have a look at The Economist, it's another case study. And we will now focus on content, because rather than creating multiple email newsletters, The Economist, as you can read here, decided to issue daily newsletter to experiment with new types of content. And these changes, again, luckily increased referrals of 41%. One thing is between newsletter and emails is that it goes into marketing for sure, because in marketing you have, for example, these nurtures you send 4 emails, hoping that you will, one of these 4 emails will motivate the potential lead or potential, let's say, customer to stay and subscribe, or in any way engage. But on the other hand, if you overload, your potential customers or leads with these emails, you will lose them. As mentioned, almost everyone does the same thing these days. So economists said, okay, let's do this newsletter, and this helped them, to increase the number of followers. Now, if you think of your newsletter as a standalone product, if you have it, great. It would be good if you would share what this is. But if you don't have it, how do you think your newsletter would look like? What would it do? Maybe you can share these thoughts with Elisabetta in our chat, and then maybe we can review it later. So what would my newsletter do? So how often would I, issue this newsletter? Is frequency important? It's all, all these questions, because it's a really thin line to push too much or, not to be visible. So what is the right balance for your, let's say, reader, for your customer in this case? Another topic which we have to focus on is also personalization and choice. What would we, as we see here, we have example from Washington Post. They use 70 newsletters. Of course, they are big, but they focus on topics as very, they focus on everything from politics, religion, parenting, cuisine, everything. But you see, how they nicely divide that in certain groups. So, for example, here we have recipes. Okay, we'll go to barbecues. Barbecue will go to bacon. This one probably further down. But why are they doing that? They are trying to give reader, or let's say potential customer, the choice. And that's this magic word. So choice is a key element, of our newsletters. We have to know what is our niche. Okay, if my competitor is writing about, I don't know, slippers, yeah, maybe, I should also, focus on something what is more representative for me. So another one who uses this kind of method, it's also the New York Times. And they recently added so-called smart living to their large portfolio already, and where they are focusing virtually only on lifestyle, how to live a better life, and similar. But again, they are big outlets where they have millions of followers. So again, it's a beautiful example, but what can I do in my own situation to get it right? Okay, if we go further down, align the frequency with your topic and audience. For example, if your topic is politics, if we are doing political topics, then a daily update maybe would be possible, especially if something's happening, maybe some sort of referendum or similar. People want to know, people want to follow. However, if our subject, I don't know, it's some food orientated like bacon, then maybe once per month, twice per month is sufficient. It's always you really need a clear idea of what you are doing, and how they say the customer is the king. Now it's changed, just changed it into the reader is my king. So I have to know where are the limits, how often can I contact without being blocked or ignored. If we continue here, Johnston Press, it's a case study. So actually Johnston Press and Google, they work together, and they try to find out what readers wanted in the newsletter. So which topics. They implemented a Google survey research, and then they sent it out, and they were really surprised how big was the response to these newsletters, to these researches and surveys. just one thing, if you do a survey, don't ask 20 questions, ask 6. Because again, it's the same thing. We get so many, tasks, wishes, emails, that sometimes you're just, okay, I'm not interested, delete, 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 delete. And that's how it works. So what happened now with this survey experiment, Johnson Press was able to gather insights from various readers. They then got information and data, so they were able to relaunch the whole thing. And what happened, they were growing their email traffic to the site, but also a lot of segments were used from these newsletters. And the interesting thing was that people were staying a minute longer reading their content than before. Again, for that, you need really, really good data resources. So if we say a newsletter is a product created with value, often you say, oh yeah, just let's write something. I need, 500 words and few pictures, and that's it. That's, if you're a journalist yourself, you know that that's not true. The content is always the key, which goes hand in hand with beautiful design. So automation, sure, is the key, but old news, it's old news, so this should never be reused. And what's a big value, it's handcrafted value, meaning you have to work with people who are good at writing or creating content. I think that's often the major difficulty, because you can learn really quickly all these, digital tools and processes, but you have good content with right words, which then rank in certain searches. That's actually almost an art form, I would say. Also, you always have to write or publish with a purpose. And as a reader, I know where you have content, you just copy paste it from, half commercial site, or where somebody really, put time and talent in it. If we continue using the stats to show you what your audience want, we are still trying to make, apologies, I went too fast. We are still trying to find out what our readers want, so that they stay, that they don't go to competition, or that they don't block us. Here, for example, it's an interesting case study from Seattle Times. They have the morning brief, which is basically daily morning newsletter. And they have it in a way, they've done it really automatically, so that they don't need to spend that much time creating it. But and it was kind of working. But then in 2015, let's think a little bit, this was 6 years ago, they redesigned its website. So they totally digitalized themselves. And at that time, the editors took the opportunity to revisit, the newsletter strategy. And what they found out, sure, before it was just copy paste mainly. And now, with this new look and everything, they also adjusted the content. And of course, it leads to better results, because as a reader, when somebody it's caring about the news which is shared, over somebody just copy paste something. So, but the question remains, people always ask, what is a good open rate? So according to digital marketing firm Smart Insights, the average open rate, it's about 22%. So what does that mean? So when the morning brief, from Seattle Times reopened, they started with rate 32%. That means that they gained about 160, new contacts. So it's quite repetitive. As mentioned previously, it's always content design and the right targeting. So now we have a question. Let me just check what's happening in the chat room, if anything. Just a moment. The question is your newsletter engaging with audiences? If you have newsletter, I would like to know if this is happening. And if you don't have newsletter yet, but you're thinking to create one, my question would be, how would you engage with audiences? So Elisabetta says there are no questions so far, but maybe, Elisabetta, if you don't mind, would you like to pop in just for a moment to, show yourself?
Yes. Hi, Romy. How are you?
Yeah, all good. So do you subscribe to newsletters in general?
I do, actually. I do. Not so much. I mean, I select the ones I'm really interested in. I tend to opt for a monthly newsletter. Those are my favorite. I used to be a big fan of newsletters, but then I realized I had so many flock into my inbox. So I just went for selected ones on fields I'm really interested in, and the more insights they give me, the happier I am. That's what I learned from my own experience.
So how many do you block in general, if any?
Well, nowadays none, because I directly do not subscribe in the first place, but I used to unsubscribe a lot in the past. Now I'm very jealous of my newsletters, which I love, and I've got 4 of them.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be minimalistic.
Yeah, because with me, it's actually, I created a special email address, which I use only for stuff like that. And to be honest, it's not good.
Right.
Because I virtually delete everything.
All right, do you get interested in too many things, maybe?
Too many, too quickly.
Right.
So I'm not a good person for that. But thank you, Elisabetta. Let's see if,
you're welcome.
if we will see some questions there.
I'm waiting for comments and questions in the chat box, but so far we haven't had any. So, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you. So let's continue then here. So now you know Elisabetta, she's really nice. It would be nice if you say hello. If we continue here, okay, what do you crafting newsletters? Checklist. So what is this to-do list? What is a magic formula, in my opinion, or in our opinion, to create this great thing? Content. You've included information that's genuinely useful for your readers. You're bringing new content to your readers. You spent at least 20 minutes choosing the subject line. You've included a call to action. Yeah, that would be good. So call to action is really important, in my opinion. So with 3 words or less, you have to motivate someone to press the button, subscribe, or do something. As it means for, selecting the subject line, that's really hard. But what we do, normally we always do A/B testing. Sometimes even ABC testing, because we create several titles and then we measure which title actually, worked the best. And yes, it's true. The rest is true about the content. The general, normal journalist, everybody knows that this matters. Now, technicalities. Really important. That's an easy way to unsubscribe from the email. Your newsletter uses a simple mobile-friendly layout. As we had previously, if I want to read, whatever you are publishing on my phone, and if this doesn't look good, I get annoyed, I will ignore it, as the majority of people. So you've included pre-header text, it's kind of big announcement. You've added social media follow buttons that I would suggest, because it's easy to click on it, and then at least you have a subscriber on let's say Facebook, Instagram, or similar. You've added the all-important tracking before clicking send. We tend to use UTM codes. UTM codes are not difficult to create, and if done correctly, you will receive really good data insights. And you're sending it at the right time for the audience. If you send, for example, to me, if I receive some newsletter, great, content, call to action on Tuesday, Monday, or Wednesday, 11 o'clock, this will be ignored because we tend to, be super busy, and we like, for example, I like to read newsletters maybe towards the end of the week in later hours of the day. Let's continue. Optimize newsletters for success as you would for your website. It's same idea again. So far, we've talked about why it is good idea to think about newsletters as a product in itself, and why we need to treat websites and newsletters as separate products. Yeah, so growth in both products is important, but for different reasons. For example, if we focus now on the website platform, a website has a potential for a wider audience, which is important for awareness. But a newsletter gives you an opportunity to grow a deeply loyal readership. For example, like Elisabetta, he likes his 4 newsletters. That's it. And she will probably stay, there forever and be faithful. And a great example of, a customer retention scheme. But websites and newsletter are both valuable and worth optimizing for, because you will get, different angles of data, and also, different customer types or reader types. Why don't people open newsletter? I can tell you, because I subscribe to too many and I have 0 time. That's one aspect. But many people don't open newsletters from the organization because they think, oh no, they want to sell me something again, or it's boring. I've got already 3 in the same day, and so on. But according to digital marketing firm Smart Insights, are they called, the average open rate hovers around 20%, which is quite high, I would say. So I think, as with everything, less is more. Publish at the time to suit your audience. Now we would, check a little bit about these timings. We had great case study. As you can see, it's Quartz Obsession. So they actually doubled the number of subscribers to its newsletters. And because they were respecting the timing, they grew, their data grew over 78%, which is a lot, than normal. But what did they do? They were using, for example, MailChimp. And they also had, these extra facilitator notes. You have to know a few things about Quartz Obsession. If you don't know, a really quick introduction. This is basically a daily newsletter containing dispatches from the world of modern work and, actionable advice. So they always send it out at 4 p.m. in each local time zone. That's another one which is important. And these newsletters, they are short, and they, just consist of snippets, short information in a form of a chart, statistic, video, card. So you don't really need to read. If you look at it, the graphic will tell you enough to understand what's all about. And with this method, they double the number of subscribers to the newsletters. And if I check here the statistic, last year they had over 700,000 subscribers, which is really high number. So that's one suggestion. I kind of like this Quartz Obsession idea. And now money, newsletter revenue. If we quickly have a look at the scheme. So as you can read here, as the digital landscape evolves, it's sometimes beneficial to go back to basics and adapt relatively old ideas for new times. So the scheme, which has 7 million subscribers, used its newsletter to raise 12 million in a founding round, and a total of 28 million since 2012. They'll be around for almost 10 years with this idea. So what happened there? They really work hard on their newsletter, and they use newsletters as revenue drivers. So how do you do that? Of course, with advertising. and some big CPMs. So what does that mean? It can be also, newsletter can be also a way to ask for donation and support. If you are interested in that kind of projects, or if you would like to go, into I don't know, revenue with your newsletters, I would say that you Google the scheme, which will give you an idea. Similar to the scheme is also Subtext newsletter, where they followed similar model, and they have over 11,000 paying subscribers per year, and subscription, I think it's $80. So if we continue, so what do I need now for this advertising? Can my newsletter be a vehicle for ads? So whilst CPM can vary widely, so between £20 and £50, that's kind of most realistic price for the ads. But for newsletters at the high end, so premium newsletters or similar, they can also charge more. And then this goes, through different rates and everything. If we go here, all about advertising. We will speak. I will show you in which sessions we will speak. I would seriously suggest you that you join these sessions, because that's the key of understanding. If you advertise in a wrong way, you will definitely lose a lot of money, and that's just very bad. As I mentioned, Substack earlier, another case study. Since its launch in 2017, Substack has quickly drawn attention from the media industry for the launch of its new business model for writers. Substack has a simple promise, making it easy to set up a subscription and collect payment from readers. Like Substack, there are a few other platforms, especially for, who uses it? Mainly freelance journalists, where they can share their work and they can sell their work as well. So it's actually good symbiosis. Let's say you're a publisher, you have everything about technicalities and stuff, but you are lacking good content. So Substack is definitely a place where you can look for that. As mentioned, they started in 2017. As mentioned also before, this time, 2017, 2019, was a bit revolutionary in this digital area, because a lot of magazines, changed their strategies and, focus more on these digital arenas. And, we don't need to mention what happened in 2020. The whole world got even more, digital. So this digital transformation happened a few years ago. So it's really good time to be on it to learn, because this won't stop. What else should we say about Substack? That's actually a great opportunity for writers to earn money, and for publisher to find, the content for their magazines or similar. If we wrap up all together, so what did we actually talk about in this session? We said, what do we need for audience growth? So we need newsletters, good ones, for, to keep our, faithful followers and readers, plus to attract the new ones. As a product, if you look, okay, this is my product, this is my newsletter, it's not just, okay, 500 words and 2 nice pictures. No, it needs to be crafted well. Otherwise, this won't, serve anything. And we were speaking about monetization, so newsletter revenue, so how newsletters can also provide revenue streams. As mentioned, I just spoke about a few case studies. Now, technicalities, data, and advertising, this will come in the next sessions. I think next week are these sessions. I will tell you, don't worry. If we go here to the next one. So questions, let me check if there are some questions. I mean, even if you don't have questions, it's not that bad, because you have to think, you have to analyze, your own situation. you need certain resources. Then, with the resources which you have, what can be actually done? As mentioned, I don't know, can you see here the advertising revenue? It's the red 1, 2, 3. The fourth one is the red group here. That's actually a really important session, because it will tell you how to advertise, which are the tools to use, how much money should I use to get some results, all that. So establishing your advertising strategy, optimizing the revenue, data and ads, that's kind of the key to everything, and programmatic strategy. So I really think that's a really important one, because here you know what you have to do, and this one will tell you how to do it. So in about 20 minutes, we have our roundtable. I would kindly invite you to join, because then we can speak face to face. I think in all this digital world, which won't change, keeping the humanity is the key. So if we exchange information, we help each other to understand everything better, and we are still at the stage when we can form, our future in this digital world. I'm sure Elisabetta shared the links. Also, you can join the labs. There's more training provided. Everything what we, share with you here, you can rewatch later. And as always, I kindly ask you to share with us your feedback. Did you like something? Was something, not so clear? Just be very honest and let us know your thoughts, your worries, something positive maybe. And of course, I hope you liked me and enjoy this time spending with me. So far I would say that's it. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you in 24 minutes in our roundtable.